So then, the Kumho BMWs are soon to get underway. The red lights are on then, so race about to get underway. Colin Wells versus Richard Bacon off the front row then. They finished first and second yesterday. A poor start from Bacon, which allowing down Fielding up on the inside as they head down into Cops Corner. I think Fielding's going to have second then, but already Colin Wells started to get away. We're expecting him to drive away in this one. 20-minute race as usual for the Kumho BMWs. They head up the hill then to the right hand of the Druids hairpin, and we can certainly see that Colin Wells is getting away then in second position behind. It's Fielding. The battle really on for third. I think Richard Bacon is still there, just about there in third. Then fourth is James Card as they head now down through Surtees Corner. Then Lloyd Dunster there in fifth position. We saw him racing last week in the pre-93 touring cars and taking the victory. From that you can tell that he's an E36 BMW rather than the E46s that dominate the front half of the field. Right, Wells has got away, Fielding under all sorts of pressure from Bacon. Remember, Bacon comes second yesterday, and that's why he started second, so he's having a go at Fielding round the outside, but that is not available at the moment to him. So Fielding stays second. And now, but there is a good run. Here goes Bacon, good run off up the hill, and he gets up on the inside. So Richard Bacon goes second, but Fielding coming back at him once again. The two cars go side by side down a Graham Hill bend, but late on the brakes for Richard Bacon, and he has now that second position. Fourth place there is James Card, and he's now been passed by Lloyd Dunster. Dunster goes fourth then. And straight away Dunster gets defensive as well as attacking, that is really, isn't it? Because it's so close to the Fielding. And then he gets a great drive off the corner. And that now puts James Card under pressure. They head through Clark Curve. Mark Smith is right there to attack. There is the 38 machine of Mark Smith. The E90 car for him. So they head up the hill towards the Druids hairpin. Still a long way to go in this race, of course. Just under 18 minutes. And they pass the spectators standing there on the bank of Graham Hill Bend. Through the left-hander then at that corner. Down the Cooper Straight. And now Laurie Dunster, you can see, getting away from this man for fifth. And already attacking down Fielding. So Dunster will be perhaps looking for a way through. But he hasn't done it as of yet, but they head through the corner and he'll be looking to find a way through, perhaps in the next lap or two. But then, as I say, that Fielding starts to sprint away as they come down the straight, but then Dunster comes back at him, I think, as they head down into paddock. Yes, here comes Dunster looking to the inside line, but late on the break, the new E46 there, perhaps having the better brakes. James Card, down Fielding, just breaking away from Laurie Dunster. James Card still sits behind them in fifth position, so they head down at the top there. They just hide behind the trees momentarily. Then back down the hill. Dunster really trying to find a way past. Like I say, winning the pre-93 touring cars last week. He's actually won all three races in that series, so he's certainly a force to be reckoned with out on the racetrack. And he's now only got a car length behind Fielding. Now let's see if that car has got more power down the straights, what you would sort of expect with an older car, and then not to be as good around the corners. Well, here we go then, Dunster goes to the outside, Fielding knows all about it, he defends that inside line, and now it's Dunster going to go on the wide line. Well, he's just not got the brakes to do that, so he has to stay behind for the moment as they head up the hill towards the hairpin. Colin Wells has got a 4 seconds or so lead already, so he's getting away. Big start moment out of Graham, out of Druids even, for James Card. He's got Mark Smith right behind him. Card's in an E46, Mark Smith in an E90. These M3s at the front of the pack. About the top 15 cars are all M3s. 26 cars made to start. Superb seeing that number of machines on circuit. The biggest grid we have here today, the BLRC meeting. So there's Card just staying in front at the moment. They head through Paddock Hill Bend, then they drop it down the hill, climb back up it once again, back in March when, big side was over there from the third place car downfield, and he was lapping one of the slower cars. That was Peter Miller in the E36 machine. He's running a good 5 seconds slower than anybody else, so I wonder if there is a problem with that car. Now Dunster right at the back of field, and we're not quite watching them at the moment, but here we go then. Dunster, he's got the tighter line coming out of Clark Cove, he's got the inside line now going down the paddock, but we know downfield and cars better on the brakes, but Dunster's got it done as they head into paddock, and so it is we have a new third place car, new car on the podium. That's Laurie Dunster then. He's still got though 14 minutes or so to hold off his competitors. So in this 20-minute race, he hasn't guaranteed himself that third place yet. So they head through Granville Bend. He's started to sprint away now from Fielding. Impressive stuff from Dunster. Like I was saying, March, the Kumho BMW Championship were part of the Motors TV live race day from Donington, which was great to see. 15-minute sprint races for them here at Donington, double header. Both races televised live. Commentary from David Addison and Charlie Butler Henderson, you may remember. That was a double victory for Gary Whittaker. He's not here this weekend. Gary Whittaker concentrating more on the Classic Thunder Championship, which we cover. Gary Whittaker proving to have great pace in that series as well. Racing against 700 brake horsepower monsters like Holden Monaros and Nissan Skylines. Meanwhile, we've had a change there. That is Dominic Sturdy in the BMW, surprisingly, BMW M3, which gained a position there to Matthew Fielding, who is in the 318 Coupe. We've got another good scrap coming down the hill here. And they make their way through Granville Bend, just ahead of the compact of James Cannell. But this battle is between Mike Hibbard and between Mike Hibbard and Evelyn Buniak. Hibbard in the 318, well, Evelyn Buniak in the M3. Colin Wells laps them, or he will do soon as he heads through paddock. You can see the pace that Wells has got in himself and in the car. He's lapping about 4 attempts quicker than anybody else, and a huge sideways moment out of Druids. He now laps the compact down the hill. Then he has those two cars talking about earlier to deal with very shortly, and he's got now about a 6-second lead, something like that, to the rest of the pack. Now Fielding here under pressure from James Card, so he's all the way Dunster to get ahead of him. Dunster's got away now. Now Fielding is under all sorts of pressure, turning through 30 from James Card. So what can James Card do about him? Well, the clue is he can't do much. Now Fielding has a good drive out the corner, starting just to break away ever so briefly from James Card, and they'll have some traffic to do very shortly, so they'll be thinking about how to deal with that. So they now get onto the brakes for paddock. About 11 minutes left on the clock, so enough time to make a pass for James Card. So down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend they go then, and down the Cooper Straight Fielding still ahead of Card. Both cars, of course, M3s. And look in front, Dunster having to dart up on the inside of a map, but I can perhaps lose them a bit of time. Now, them two cars are going to be lapped by the leaders down the Brabham Straight, but they may have to carve their way through round the outside. Actually, it's not going to be as difficult as it once looked like, but soon they'll be lapping to what Colin Wells was doing a few laps ago. We were watching, and it's slightly difficult for Card. He has to dart up on the inside there of John Jones in the 3 to 8, but that's been completed now, and they head up the hill. Colin Wells then passes up. So, someone's had a rotation at the bottom there at Graham Hill Bend. There's only about 9 minutes of the race to go then. Colin Wells is controlling the pace at the moment. He has something like a 7-second lead now, so it's been out by there about half a second or there or thereabouts to the rest of the pack. So they're darting through Richard Bacon, and now this battle for 4th position continues, and Fielding has Card up on the inside then, but he brakes. Fielding's great on the brakes, isn't he? We saw the same with Lloyd Dunster, but he's too low on the brakes, he runs out wide. Here comes James Card, then he's got the inside line heading up to Druids. He levels out on the brake, and then he has the inside line for the hairpin. He's got it done then, up to 4th position for James Card. His next target will be Laurie Dunster, who's not too far in front of him, so they turn through the left-hander then at Graham Hill Bend. And the 2 E46s swap positions, and James Card getting ahead of Darren Fielding. And Laurie Dunster's had an off at the bottom of Graham Hill Bend. We were just trying to work out what's going on there up here in the commentary box. We've worked it out now, haven't we? Laurie Dunster fell off the circuit. He's just come out ahead of Mark Smith. So that's a change for 5th. Now that puts James Card onto the podium then. So that'll be interesting to see what Lloyd Dunster now can do. Can he get back onto terms with Darren Fielding? Maybe find his way through. Because Dunster's fastest lap is the 3rd fastest car on circuit, and yes, just maybe a reason of Darren Fielding not quite having the pace of some of the other cars down the straights. He's running in Class B and leading that one to Mark Smith, so that's certainly a battle to watch out for. As now Dunster not wasting too much time getting on the turns with Fielding, is almost there, and then the second of the Class B cars, Mark Smith right behind, so that's certainly a battle to watch, Fielding versus Smith, because when Dunster, we look, he's up on the inside of Fielding already. Fielding's going to want to cover that line straight away because he knows his championship rival, but his class rival's right behind him, and he's got that one done then as they lap a car. I think that could well have been Matthew Fielding. They lapped into paddock there. As they head up the hill, Dunster's up to 4th, and now the battle for Class B is on between Darren Fielding and Mark Smith. Big sideways moment there for James Card, was it, or was it Rich? So over here more Richard Bacon. We think it was James Card up here in the commentary books. We think that was James Card that went sideways. We have something on the lines of 6 minutes left in this Kumho BMW race. Thoroughly entertaining stuff out there. As Dunster darts up on the inside of another back marker. Battle for 5th one, like I say, for the Class B honours. Fielding versus Smith. Do you know what's going on in the rest of the classes? Well, I'll let you know. Class D is being led by Matthew Fielding. This is one of the non-M3 classes. Many of those out there. The only Class C runner, Peter Miller, has retired from proceedings, leaving 25 cars on the circuit. The only other class out there today is the invitation class. Stephen Pearson, the only one in that. He's running just outside the top 10. So into Graham Hill Bend. There's Fielding just ahead of Smith still. Now Cole Skid, he was sent to the back of the grid after yesterday's race. But he appears not to be out there, so whatever happened to Cole Skid has caused him not to be out there. There was 27 cars in the race yesterday. Right, now, we wasn't expecting this so soon, were we? Laurie Dunster onto the back of James Carr. Laurie Dunster, after that mistake, really not happy with himself and starting to attack the car in front as the Class B battle continues. Fielding still ahead of Smith in that one as they head up the hill into Druids. But what can Laurie Dunster do in these last 4 minutes or so about the car in front of him? James Card. Dunster will be trying everything he knows lately in the pre-93 touring cars. Laurie Dunster's been running all by at the front, so more defending than attacking, so it's a bit of a different thing for him to deal with today. Now there's the Class B battle we've been watching on the screen for a little while now between Fielding and Smith. Smith hasn't been able yet in his E90 machine to work out how to find a way past. Fielding though so late on the brakes for Paddock Hill Bend. They of course lost him a place earlier, but all the other times it's been superb watching him seep away on the brakes. Gained in half a second or so probably just on the brakes for Paddock. Then latching right onto his back again is Mark Smith. So head down into Graham Bend. Fielding, I think, is in one of the E36 shape cars. It looks to me. Through searches, just to let you know. Down Fielding quickest in this class on fastest lap, 33.607, which is just over 300ths of a second quicker than the car he is battling with. Now Fielding just started to make a bit of a break. Now, as in front, Card still under pressure from Dunster into Paddock. Dunster knows there's less than 3 minutes to go out there now, so he'll be trying everything he knows to get past. Back markers is a feature in the pre-93 touring cars, so Dunster is definitely used to traffic. It'll be a good practice for him as well for the pre-93 touring cars themselves, and they come here in I think it's 3 weeks' time on the Sunday of the Golden Jubilee weekend. Now, oh look at this, they've been stuck right behind the traffic as Card. He luckily managed to have the line defended to Laurie Dunster, but they can both go past now. Can Dunster do anything about his rival down to Paddock Hill Bend? This may be his best opportunity, maybe his only opportunity to the end of the race. Well, let's see, he's sitting in the sector, he pulls out on the high line for Paddock Hill Bend, but I think Card has it covered in the E46 machine. He certainly does. They head through Paddock. James Card stays in third. So up into Druids, Dunster trying it late on the brakes, but he's not close enough to attempt a move. They go down the hill. Fielding just dealing with the back markers, almost runs to the back of him, and it got slightly awkward there for Mark Smith as he has to peel round the outside into Graham Hill Bend, lapping Dominic Serdi then, who's running in 14th position. Just showing you how what kind of cars they're lapping. They're only about a couple of seconds slower than them, which makes it a lot tougher to get past them because that's not a huge difference in lap time. Right, 2 to go I reckon. That would be my estimate on this one, as Dunster can't yet find a way free. He's trying hard though, he wants that podium back after a mistake at Graham Hill Bend. They head up the hill. Card defends on way and takes the middle of the road route up into Druids, and Dunster continues to try and come round him. He gets the car all sideways, but he can't get away past yet, so they head into Graham Hill Bend then. Just to let you know, Richard Bacon still running second. We haven't really seen much of him. I say running in second position, but still leading, of course, is the man himself, Colin Wells, in the 14 machine. Really proving to be the class. The field he's fastest at 52.779, average speed of over 82 miles per hour. Class D fastest lap was gone to Matthew Field. And I said Peter Miller was the only person in Class C. That is a mistake because John Jones is also in Class C. He runs in 20th. So here comes Colin Wells then, a bit more traffic to do. Heading through clear ways then, he's about to take the checkered. He will win then. And we've got a car in the gravel trap up there at Clark Curve. That is Roger Lavender in the Class B machine, but checkered flag goes down to Colin Wells. He wins the race then. 23 laps he completed in 20 minutes. Then we wait for the second place car. Richard Bacon now makes his way through Clark Curve. He will take second position then. Third will go to who? Because it's Card versus Dunster. But it looks like James Card's just going to have it. Dunster peels out the slipstream in the last second. Can't get it done. A Class B victory there will go to Darren Fielding. Here are our results. You see Fielden there just won by 3 tenths in Class B. Card just beat Dunster by just over a tenth for the second. And Colin Wells won the race by just under 16 seconds.